What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action spawning in the blue color. Playing his set. His name is Shelty, the Snake Shelton. His opponent today in the red color, currently unmanned by his Master Mario. Playing his Odin. His name is Yoshii. The map is Frozen Waste, and this is a best of 3 for the Champions League group stages. Very exciting here. We get to see Yoshii's Odin. Yoshii has been having an absolute tear this season thus far. He has taken some incredibly strong players out incredibly easily with a lot of very strong Odin play. But this game is different. He is up now against the set of Shelty. Now, the big question here is, what has Shelty got in store for Yoshii? The beautiful thing about Set is that Set's ability to inflict pain onto an enemy civilization is unmatched. There are so many different strategies that Set can go for. Set has got early priest, pharaoh, shifting sands, cheese kind of openings where if you pick off a couple of villages, you basically have an incredible advantage in the game. Set has also got a really, really brutal classical fight, which is very tough to stop. Set's also got ridiculous one town center fast heroic cheeses, which are not even cheeses but timing attacks, which are incredibly strong, difficult to beat. Set's also got fast second town center strategies, which are also timing attack orientated or booming orientated ideas. This is what makes Set a dangerous god. It's the unknown. It's the trickster nature of this god. And I love that it's Set that it gets to have this kind of thing, because it's like there's just so much. There's so many cool things you can do with Set to find an advantage. And you can play so tricksy with it to get your opponent off guard. Now, I'll have to wait. At the moment, I'm already complaining about the build order here from Shelty. It looks like the temple is coming up late here for a 4:02 advance time. Actually, considering he has no monuments up just yet, it probably should have been looking at a 3:48 here. I'm saying this kind of stuff as a Set enthusiast. We'll talk about Yoshii's build here in a second as well, but yeah, Set can do a lot of early game shenanigans, but it requires a very specific build order to make it work. And it looks like Shelty's actually going to be going for a 430 here and putting his villagers over onto gold here at this moment with no monuments up. A 430, you can get 2 monuments up, live the dream. Or at least 1 monument up with a second monument going up through to the classical age. And we see him actually, final villager coming through. Yoshii on the other side of here. One thing you will notice that Yoshii does is in the early stages of the game, he actually builds a dwarf out first. He doesn't get hunting dogs at the start of the game. He delays the hunting dogs, and it allows him to have an incredible amount of benefit without... Basically, Yoshii does not need to put multiple gatherers onto gold, which means he gets more resources than the average Norse early game. Not only that, we're seeing another dwarf. This is a very, very late advance time here from Yoshii. We'll see how things are going to work here, but super late advance from Yoshii. The one thing that he does get, and the reason why a late advance here is not the worst thing for Odin, is that he's actually started the production of Hersir before that dwarf popped out. So it's not like he's not spending the extra resources that he has. He's just going to be susceptible to early game cheeses. Imagine Shelty at this point had already advanced through to the classical age with 3 priests out, the upgrade Hands of the Pharaoh, Vision, Shifting Sands onto this location here. You could potentially have picked off a bunch of villagers here as the Vision gets dropped into this location here. And Yoshii, no reaction. He is not buying. Oftentimes, Norse players will just say, all right, got to retreat back, got to run away. And I think the Vision was actually looking for a goat steal here, in all honesty, from Shelty, but not going to happen, as we do see the town center coming up here for Shelty. He's got some hunt on it already. And this is going to basically mean that, I mean, Yoshii at this point is already looking like he is going for a fast second town center. The units are coming over onto this location. We see the hyena making their way forward. The units in position. Yoshii's got to be careful here not to put all of his infantry units on this town center, because if I'm Shelty here, I shifting sands this as soon as I see this, because I want to just bring these into my base, and I want to then put pressure to prevent any second town centers from coming up. We see the town center is up. Still no barracks up for Shelty. Very, very late on that. You need to get that happening straight away. Oh, we see the shifting sands onto the herdables there. Not the exact usage I would be thinking is amazing here, as the town center will come up uncontested here for Yoshii. Yoshii's going to be in a really good position here. One thing that I think that a lot of older Norse players would be thinking here is that, man, you can't boom against Set. It doesn't work. Set, you got to be aggressive. You got to build buildings. You got to find an advantage early in the game. Otherwise, you lose to Egyptian. It's actually not 100% the case. It all depends on what the Set player is doing. As we do see the barracks coming down here for Set, for Shelty. And this means here that Shelty is going to be wanting to build some spearmen or some axemen or some slingers out in the classical age, basically just to defend. And what that means is that Yoshii is going to have a free boom, because Shelty spearmen are not going to be able to do anything. And Yoshii scouts it. He sees the barracks going up, and Yoshii is such a smart player. He's grabbing his third town center behind this. He knows that the spearmen, they're only just coming out. He knows that his villagers on this position are relatively safe. The ox cart in a poor position here. He can easily just retreat back to this location, run away. We do see a forest fire coming up here. I'm not sure exactly what that was about, as the villagers simply just going to be retreating back to the town center here. Jumping onto the goats for the time being. That while Yoshii lost all of his herdables here in his main base, or nearly all of his herdables, he's still got plenty of hunt. He's got the hunt over here. We do see a nice raid coming through, as the village is going to be retreating back, but I guarantee you here, with Yoshii on 3 town centers, he's not going to care too much. The Raven is also on this position, checking that one out, as Shelty trying to put pressure over here to push off of this hunt. If you got to start thinking about converting these caribou, surely with that priest there, you could be stealing those away here. But looks like Shelty not doing that, not utilizing that beautiful advantage of the Set, the special, unique ability to convert animals. As we're now seeing Yoshii coming in onto this position, he's going to be finding a raid. Even while he's on 3 town centers, he's able to find a raid. He's going to pick off one villager there. Shelty has to retreat back there, as now we see the double longhouses coming up on this position, as Yoshii is now looking to probably, I wouldn't be surprised here, but I would expect Yoshii to just try and rush the heroic age here if he can. He's getting himself husbandry. He's going to be able to get himself to the heroic age. He just needs an armory up, and that's exactly what he's throwing down here. Remember, Shelty here has grabbed 3 barracks, and he's not got any ability to put pressure on apart from these villagers here. So this is the only location here that Shelty can really pressure, and he should be pressuring that location, mind you, but he hasn't actually figured out where it is. If we take a look at Shelty's perspective, he does know that the walrus are here, so he should be able to recognize that putting pressure onto that is going to be doing some good damage to Yoshii, but he hasn't quite got there just yet. As the spearman searching around, he's going to spot that armory up in the main base of Shelty. He does have his own armory. The villagers are on the goats in his main base, and we do see Nephthys coming through first here for Shelty. But Shelty's 2 town centers. He's still in a lead on the villager count, but Yoshii has dwarves, so technically Yoshii's gather rate is going to be, or income is going to be higher than Shelty's, especially because the Pharaoh, the Pharaoh is also only empowering 6 villagers here. So the Pharaoh empowers at about a rate of 20%. So 6 villagers being empowered is around about, an extra, it's like 7 villagers here or something. Is that how math works? About 7. If you gather that one on this position with 10, you're getting about 12 villages here. Effectively, it's really important to utilize that pharaoh at the most efficient way you possibly can. You want to have like 20 villages on the building that the pharaoh is empowering to get the most out of it, to kind of make up for the very weak economy that Egyptian has. As Skadi coming through, hand axe, pickaxe coming through, Nephthys just about to pop here for Shelty, as we'll see what he's going to do with it. It is a 1 gold mine, not a 1 gold mine goes frozen waste. It's a 2 gold mine frozen waste. So there's a lot of time here for Yoshii to kind of work this one out. As we do see the units pushing through here, getting pushed back by the town center there as the siege works coming up on this position. Shelty's got plenty of resources in the bank to spend here. He's going to need to spend them very, very fast here as the siege works is up. And I like the Migdol stronghold. It might be a little bit too close here to the town center as it does start hitting that one. Shelty's going to have to find a different location for it. I wouldn't mind seeing it go up over here or potentially over here. But anywhere close to this town center is a great idea here for Shelty, as Yoshii's now getting up the hill fort on this location. Here's the thing. Yoshii doesn't necessarily even need to defend this town center. If he wants to just grab this one, he's already got the value out of it. He's up on villager count here. So long as he doesn't lose villagers, he's completely fine. As the army of Yoshii coming in to try and defend this one, as the siege tower going to be retreating away. There are a couple of priests here to try and deal with those frost giants. Shelty's at 88 population. Yoshii is at 105 population as his unit's about to get the hill fort up over here. He's just delaying on this position as basically the frost giant here can slow this attack down quite considerably here. Yoshii can also do some garrison shenanigans here to get in as the frost giant pushes through, going to be freezing one of those siege towers to slow things down as the Scorpion men here trying to get taken out. The villager popping out, trying to get some damage onto this siege tower. The slingers are able to pick off that villager there. Horus now coming through for Shelty as he is going for some sort of timing attack here in terms of the Mythic Age. He spent all his resources, now 110 of 130 population, still trying to take this town center down. But look at this. Yoshii, Frost, no worries. Keeps the town center alive. All the units here are going to be frozen for the entirety of this 40 seconds here, as the Ulfsark now will be starting to think about grabbing the town center on this position as well. Shelty does have an obelisk up in position to scout this, but will he be able to do anything about it is the big question. As more frost giants coming through, we see ancestors getting dropped down here, potentially to take out the town center. As now Shelty pushing through with another siege tower on this location. Yoshii's going to be moving through with his frost giants to freeze this one immediately. As the pharaoh now in position, good town center marker there to attack that pharaoh. As it gets pushed back immediately there, the ancestors getting some damage done, but they're not that useful here at this point, as the town center is 100% going to be getting taken out. This town center just about up for Yoshii. Yoshii is playing this one really nicely, just saying, I don't care about the town center that much. Going to allow you to take it out. Horus now through, though, for Shelty, and now things are going to start getting very spicy, with the tornado going to be able to be utilized onto the home town center here to take that one out. He's going to take out the temple. He's going to take out that relic that was garrisoned, which is the boots to kick everything. That's a big relic to lose there, and the town center is going to be falling here for Yoshii as well, as now it's back to 2 town centers apiece. Yoshii does have watchtowers coming through. He's going to be bringing his villagers back as well. How many resources in the bank here for Yoshii? He's got about 500 food. We are now going to see the units starting to put pressure onto the town center over here, as Shelty is now looking like he is all over Yoshii, but Yoshii just needs to fix up his houses, get himself fortified town centers, and he should be completely fine here. We do see the frost giants coming over here to try and defend on this location as well, as the army of Shelty for some reason thinks that it can take out a town center here with a handful of animals of Set and the Avenger. One of the weaknesses of the animals of Set is that they have a 50% reduction in damage against buildings. So they're really not useful against buildings in the slightest. As we see now, Shelty grabbing the town center on this position, a random throwing axeman over here to try and prevent that one as well. As we do see the siege towers now moving in onto this position. Avenger over here starting to hit the villages as the Frost Giant marching in onto this position. Will Shelty see this one or not? He does not see it. He picks off one villager there with that Avenger, and he's going to be losing it very, very quickly. Meanwhile, the siege tower's in on this position. That's a 2 HP siege tower there that's getting a lot of value, as we do see the army now coming through to take this, or to quell the pressure of this position. And it looks like the siege towers will all get taken down. The town center will live another day. And Yoshii looks like he's in a completely fine position thus far. I would love to see him getting fortified town centers is the only thing here to really help him out, as the town center is now up for Shelty. Shelty also in a fine position, but Shelty needs to start thinking about how is he going to defend a Ragnarok that is most likely coming. Look at the resources for Yoshii. Yoshii can sell all of that wood, buy himself food, advance to the Mythic Age if he so chooses. He also can start thinking about grabbing this town center in the back in the main base here if he so chooses as well. There's the fortified town centers coming through. The medium Huskar going to be making the effort to push in to grab that town center. It's a big effort to get that one back up with that many Huskar. That's 18 population there that is not going to be used to defend, whereas Shelty at this point is getting himself funeral rights. He's at 145 population, so with 18 population not being in the fight here as the units try and push through, this is going to be very, very tough. And we'll see how things are going to go, as we do see that the town center has been left here to be built back up with just the 2 Huskar. Yoshii realizing he needs to be over on this position, but with the axemen out, these Huskar are not that useful in the slightest here, as the siege tower is starting to target down the town center on this position here. We'll see if Yoshii can defend here, as the town center looks like it might be falling. Fortified town centers might end up coming through here in time, though, for Yoshii, as it does look like it will. That's going to be able to keep the town center up for even longer here, as the town center over here does get prevented, as the axemen manage to find a position where they're not being hit by towers. Had Yoshii been over on the other side, perhaps here, those towers would have been able to defend this one, but Yoshii hasn't managed to do that just yet. Temple coming up on this position as the axemen seemingly have been taken out. Now the Huskar can push in to start taking those chariot archers down. One thing that I would really like to see here from Shelty that he's not doing is get more monuments out and start making those animals of set. It's so vitally important here. He can get himself tons of rhino here to help defend his chariot archers, help occupy all of these units. The animals of set are so important to Set's ability to win games, but Shelty is not utilizing it in this game. In fact, the Pharaoh almost getting taken out there, as Shelty going to have to retreat back for the time being here. Shelty is on this gold mine over here. He needs to start maybe even thinking about towers over here on these gold mines at the top side of the map to be able to defend them, as we are seeing cheeky little raids over here, but not quite being enough, as the town center is yet again coming up here as some infantry units popping out onto that location there, as it looks like Yoshii will be able to get that one back up and be in a decent position here. Now, Yoshii, the problem that he's finding himself in at this moment is that he's got no food income. There is hunt over here. So he can eat that location there and get a little bit of food. But he's got nothing left. And now we see a beautiful catapult coming in. This is a problem that he was going to be having for quite some time, as Yoshii's town center on this position will get taken out. But Yoshii is back up to 160 population now. So losing that town center, so long as he can continue to fight and not lose units, he will be able to sit at that 160 population for quite some time. But Yoshii loses that position there. Shelty pushing through the middle of the map here, putting the Migdol stronghold up. We do see the priest trying to take out the Frost Giant on that location there as well, as the Huskar pushing through those chariot archers. We'll see how things are going to come in this game. As if Shelty can take down, obviously if Shelty can take down all the town centers of Yoshii, Yoshii's going to be in a very difficult position. But Yoshii's about to be able to click up to the next age. You can see he's got the food. He's still only making wood-based units here. So the problem here for Shelty is that he's just not making enough axemen here. He's got the axemen out, but he's got all these kind of useless chariot archers. Not useless because they can attack the throw an axeman, but imagine right now if this was pure axeman with the building upgrade coming through here for, what is it called? Axe of Vengeance, I believe. Let me just check that one. Yeah, Axe of Vengeance gives the bonus damage versus buildings as well. These axemen will just push through everything here. But Balder is on the way now. Yoshii is at 79 villagers at this point. We do see catapults pushing through, taking houses down here, causing problems for Yoshii. And this is going to be a very, very desperate attempt for a Ragnarok to work. Yoshii does have himself bronze shields, but he's got no upgrades in terms of his mail here or anything else. Now he's getting himself copper mail to help him against those axemen. Shelty on the other hand, he's got himself 8 farms in his base. He's got himself 19 farms total here, it seems. There's not a whole lot of food income to spam out axemen here. He's also not got any defenses on his gold mines over here either. As we do see some villagers coming onto this position. The Olsarks are in position to defend here. But he doesn't have anything else on this position for the moment there. And the villagers will be able to shank to kill all of the units here. However, Balder will most likely be clicked straight away as Wall's trying to come up over here by Yoshii to stop the catapult pushing into the main base here. Have you ever seen that? Catapult flings a boulder at the throw an axeman and it just goes bleh. It's kind of a rare thing there as well. As now the catapult rolling in to take the fortified town center down. Yoshii going to be getting himself heavy infantry at this point, taking down some villagers here as the catapult taking down that hometown center. Should Yoshii be waiting here or should Yoshii be hitting the button? He doesn't have any, what do you call them? Trade caravans here in this game, as we do see the units pushing back over on this position. Town center trying to sneak back up here as Yoshii doesn't particularly want to click that upgrade just yet. That god power just yet. One of the big advantages with Balder against Set and against any civilization that doesn't have one hit kill myth units is the fire giant, because it's going to be able to come through. It's going to be able to snipe down so many units so easily here. But Yoshii does decide to pull back. We see the town center coming up very, very slowly over here. And Shelty does see this. He's got an obelisk here. I don't see him having any siege works on this position here at the moment, but a catapult is rolling through to put a stop to this town center going up. As the catapult rolling back through here as well. 5 priests here with funeral rites will be able to deal with a fire giant fairly quickly, but you see how long it takes to kill that one off. If there's any amount of Huskal here for Yoshii, he's able to take those priests down so easily as the town center now under siege here, but the throwing axemen are able to come through, snipe down those catapults relatively quickly here, and Yoshii's still staying alive. We do see the fire giants coming through here to try and take down those priests as well. Meanwhile, on this position here, the axemen are going to be able to clean up these units. The hill fort will go down on that position as well. Champion chariots coming through here for Shelty as he is going mass archers or bust here, it seems. Mass chariots can work here against a Ragnarok, but the problem is that they get absolutely murdered by the fire giants. Same too do axemen get murdered by the fire giants, but everything is a problem when it comes down to it for Set against the late, not even the late game, but just this portion of the game against Norse. So we'll see if Yoshii is going to make it work. We are now starting to see some raids coming through onto the top side of the map. This is where all the gold on the map is as the dwarves pulling away here. Will we see the Ragnarok clicked here? Yes, we will. 289 population Ragnarok coming through for Yoshii as his fire giant marching through. We do see the throwing axemen coming in onto this position straight away as the heroes of Ragnarok rolling around the side here, marching around the side here to hit the gold on that position there, as well as the army here getting surrounded to some degree. But axemen are very, very good against the heroes of Ragnarok here, as those are going to be able to clean up the majority of the Rag heroes of Yoshii. But Yoshii needs to take fights. He needs to push Shelty back here as the population does drop. The heroes of Ragnarok do come in onto this position. Shelty needs to be retreating from this position, not staying here. He's about to lose so many villagers. He's on 72, and look at that. That's 19 dead villagers about to be coming through here for Shelty. He's not retreating at all as we see the heroes of Ragnarok pushing in onto this position. 12 heroes of Ragnarok onto a fortified town center with masons. Should be enough, but it might not be. As the mercenary cavalry coming out here for Shelty, he's not going to be able to hold on making mercenary cavalry. It's too much gold at this point. We do see some villagers on this position as the heroes of Ragnarok coming in to try and grab the town center on this position as well. But it looks like now Shelty is at 60 villagers. He can trade a little bit of food here. If he has a ton of farms in his main base, or he can start making himself hippos of set here to eat hunt, he can actually get himself a ton of gold in his main base. But we see the fire giants coming through. The priest on the back here manages to snipe one of those fire giants. That's a really big deal. But the town center is going to be getting taken down here as well, as these heroes of Ragnarok have managed to take this location out. Yoshii can grab that town center for himself here if he so chooses, but the axemen coming through going to be able to take out some of those heroes of Ragnarok, as the Ragnarok heroes are still trying to just keep an eye on all the villagers as Shelty has to pull back into his main base. We do see this town center coming up over on this position. Looks like Yoshi's deciding not to grab this town center in favor of potentially saving some of that gold for fire giants here. Where is his temple? Does he have it anywhere? There it is. He does have fire giants queued up. That's so many fire giants queued up as well there. And in that moment, Shelty just says, all right, GG, well played, Yoshii. You get the dub here in this one, as Yoshii shows that Set is not the counter, the easy counter to Odin that was once thought. A really, really beautiful counter strategy here from Yoshii. 3 town centers against the 2 town center barracks play from Shelty. Honestly, if you see a fast second town center coming through for the Norse player as a set player, do not build barracks. You can build barracks, but don't build any units. Go to the heroic age and start your pressure from that point in the game, because in all honesty, you just can't do anything with the barracks against a booming Norse player. They just don't do anything. So you're not going to find the value there. And Shelty, while he did manage something in this game, he almost managed to find a win here. It just was a little bit too slow. The other alternative here for Shelty would be to put more effort into getting to those champion axemen, more villagers on food here, or just having more food income in general in order to pump out axemen to defend against these heroes of Ragnarok, with the priests having good defensive priest micro, utilizing the town center garrison to take out the fire giants and everything else. But GG, well played here by Yoshii. Gets the first win. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.